Hey guys, hope this video finds you well today. Today I want to talk about how you're going to deal with hunger cravings when you're, on a fat loss diet. Because that's obviously one of the big problems. Trying to stick with a diet is the hunger just gets too much, especially when you first start and your body's adapting to the lower calorie level. The hunger pangs can get really, really severe, and this is where we sort of we fall off we fall off the wagon, so to speak, and we lose it, and we end up stuffing ourselves with food, and we end up sort of sabotaging our results. And it's just because we just can't control, get used to being hungry, especially when you've been overeating for quite a while. It's very difficult then to go straight into a sort of really calorie deficit. So over the years, obviously, I've coached people with this, and I've obviously done it myself a lot of times. These sort of my sort of 89 tips that I use and I've learned over the years that can help you get through this. So the first one I've always found is when you're cutting calories is really just to make sure that you eat enough protein. Definitely up the protein game. Make sure you're having protein with every meal. Definitely, and just generally increase your protein levels. Again, it's just going to help you fill you up. It's going to increase the satiety from each meal, and just help you avoid any snacking or any desire to snack between meals. I've just found if I just increase my protein intake, generally that keeps me going between meals. So that's definitely tip number one: get the protein up. I mean, I think if you're in your 50s like me, we should be eating a more high protein diet anyway. I think it's just, regardless of whether you're building muscle or losing fat, I think your protein levels really should be up and should be pretty much the same. If you want a guideline for what that looked like, I would probably say a gram, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. So it was a good place to sort of start with, and then just go from there and just see how that feels and see if you're able to sort of eat that much protein without having it become a problem. But definitely, number one, get the protein levels up. Tip number two is, and I've actually struggled with this in the past, it's gone too low diet. I remember back in the day, in the 90s, late 80s, early 90s, when I got into sort of weightlifting and what have you, all the rage was low fat diets. It was more like high protein, high carb, but low fat. And I think if you go too low fat, and I used to go, I used to get so hungry. And I think a lot of it was because there just wasn't enough fat in my diet. I think definitely increases the hunger pangs. I mean, obviously you want to not go too much fat if you're trying to lose body fat yourself, unless you're probably on a keto diet. Obviously you can get away with a lot more fat. But if you're just eating a balanced diet of protein, carbs, and fats, then you want to keep your fat levels, managed. I always aim for around under 50 grams, around 50 grams a day. That's generally my sweet spot for the fat. So just must be careful of that. Just make sure that you are eating enough fat to sort of reduce any potential, hunger pangs. Okay, so number three. Sorry, I'm have to keep referring to notes because I've been forgetting stuff when I've been shooting videos before. So number three is fiber. Again, this is like with protein, it's just going to help fill you up, improve the satiety from every meal. Just generally, just again, reduce that appetite. Take the edge off the appetite, and just keep everything moving around. So definitely increase your fiber intake. Obviously, that can be done through fruit, vegetables. I would say mainly vegetables. If you lose body fat, you don't need too much fruit. I just increase my vegetable intake anyway, and I will definitely sometimes also use a supplement as well, just to sort of boost that up. There's some days I just forget, or I just don't eat enough. So I just take a couple of tablets every day as well, just to help keep that to keep that level up. And I'm aiming for around 40 grams of fibre a day. You find this sort of, again, what works best for me. So again, number 4 is water. Just increase your water intake as much as you can. Obviously, you've got to be mindful. If you have too much water, then it can disrupt your day. But definitely increase your water intake. You can have water with every meal, and all that does, I don't think it suppresses your appetite so much. I think it just fills your stomach, and it's just a psychological thing. And obviously, as well, if you're having liquids with, I drink a lot of herbal tea, green tea, and the odd bit of coffee and tea as well. But generally, I just find if I've increased my water intake, I just feel less hungry between meals. So definitely try that one out. So the next tip is I think number 5. I've lost count already. Anyway, it doesn't matter. This is one I really struggle with, actually. And I know it works, but I still really struggle with it. Is eating your food slower. It's more slowly, chewing your food, just generally taking your time. Again, this will allow for you to sort of digest your food a lot better, and you feel that when you're taking your time with your food. When I can do this, because I'm naturally greedy, I want to eat quickly. But what's I doing? It's not, the brain's not registering the food that's been eaten fast enough, and I'm still feeling hungry after my meal. So, and I tell you when I notice it, when I go out to a restaurant, a nice restaurant, obviously I'll take my time, because you don't want to be sat there like shoving food in your face, because you're out and you just want to look respectable. So I have to take my time, and I'm actually eating less food sometimes when I'm going out, and I walk away at the end of the night and I'm full. I think, God, I don't know. Normally that I'd still be hungry eating that at home, but it's because I've taken my time, chewed my food. I've just let the food digest properly, and that definitely works. It's hard to do, I think, especially when you're on the go, and time's tight. You just want to shove some down and just get moving again. So, but certainly where you can, especially in the evening when you've got time, if that's your main meal of the day, then certainly try to sort of slow down your eating, and really just chew your food and digest properly everything that you eat. The next one is to be thinking about how a training affects your appetite as well, and avoid certain types of training at certain times of day. So for me, I've always found if I do like steady zone 2 cardio in the morning fasted, and I try to sort of not delay my first meal after that to lunchtime, I'm absolutely starving. So that type of thing, that type of exercise for me, and even that's just weight training to a certain degree, I'm pretty hungry pretty quick. So I try to time my workouts as much as I can around a meal. And I find that works, because if I work out and then there's a delay between my next meal, then the hunger can really get a grip of me. So definitely I'll try to sort of make sure when I work out that I'm straight away, within half an hour, I'm having a good meal after it. Funny enough though, if I'm doing sort of more high intensity training, where you're really sort of getting a whole sweat, and I think that for me, I don't get them. The hunger's not the same. I can definitely last longer after that sort of training, but anything state 2, even I say weight training, a good weight training session, I get hungry quite quickly after that. Don't talk about like swimming and stuff like that. God, I have to get in a pool for about 10 minutes and I'm absolutely starving. So I avoid swimming when I'm trying to lose body fat. It's just for some reason I'm absolutely ravenous after any training session, swimming session, and I can't swim for toffee, I tell you. But even then I'm absolutely starving, so definitely want to avoid for me. Finally, last 2 tips. So what we're on 8 now is sleep. Try and get good quality sleep while you're on this fat loss program, on this fat loss diet. We all know the fact that we don't get a good night's sleep, we wake up in the morning, we're tired, You know, we've got our resistance is low. We generally want, you know, energy foods, quite quick absorbing, you know, like we're craving energy foods, i.e. carbohydrates, because we want that quick fix energy. So the better you're rested, the better your body is going to be in balance as well, and the better that you're going to be able to sort of deal with or resist any hunger pangs that come through to you. So yeah, definitely sleep is you know, sleep's, you should be getting good sleep regardless of what you're doing, to be honest, but definitely when you're trying to lose weight, you want to be getting a good night's sleep under your belt every night as much as possible. And the final one, the last one, is obviously alcohol. Obviously I would recommend, if you are trying to, if you're serious about losing body fat, especially trying to get to lower levels of body fat, then alcohol's a no-no anyway. But you know, if you're just sort of generally trying to lose weight and get fit, you can still have a drink, no problem, obviously within reason. But just know, you know, you're going to get hungry after we drink. It's normal, isn't it? We've all had that, a few drinks, and you want to eat in the house. So just be mindful of that, knowing that if you have a drink, there's a good chance you will get hungry, and if you have too much, if you're waking up with a hangover, then you're definitely going to be vulnerable to eating food that you don't need. So keep that in mind. Anyway, guys, hope that's helped. Love to hear your tips on how you manage to deal with hunger when you're trying to lose weight. Love to know how you do that. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. That really helps me out. And if you're still here watching this now, again, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Really helps my content out as well. Okay, guys, yeah, please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks.